saw yesterday that you were limited with calf tightness. You reported. Can you kind of walk us through what happened?
Yeah, I just felt a little tight. I just wanted to be smart about it. Obviously, play the game on Sunday. Hoping I get to be in it. Obviously, but just trying to get ready to go.
So at this point, you're expecting to still start on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my body ready to go and rock and roll. So we're doing everything we can.
How much were you able to do today out there?
I just tried to focus on the throws. Really, didn't try to do too much today. Try to be smart, because knowing that we have all of today and tomorrow, and then obviously Sunday morning.
Did you do anything in team today, Russ?
Didn't do much. No, I did a couple things, but not much.
Where does it impact you?
Say again?
Most? Where does it impact you the most, that tightness?
What do you mean?
As far as playing quarterback, like where does that injury impact you the most?
I mean, it just depends on the scenario. I mean, I think obviously you want to be out there where it doesn't, and so that's what we're all making sure that I'm ready to rock and roll.
Russ, Mike Tomlin said this was a recurrence of the camp injury. With that being said, is there a fine line to kind of toe between wanting to get out there and be there with your team, but also not wanting to aggregate further and create a bigger injury?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you hate these nagging things. I've been feeling great, honestly, the past few weeks. I've been feeling really good. So just kind of felt a little funny yesterday. I think the most important thing is just getting prepared to win. I think that's our focus right now, doing whatever we can, obviously myself included, and obviously getting ready to rock and roll. And I'll be ready to go. If I can go, I'm going to go and try to do everything I can to help us win. That's how I think about it. And if not, I'm going to do everything I can to help us win in that way too. So, but I'm going to do everything I can, as you guys know, to be ready to rock.
Your course has been around for a while. Has there been instances in the past where maybe you didn't practice late in the week, but you're able to play Sunday?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's been times where I maybe limited in some practices in the past or whatever, but we go play on Sunday. So I'm not worried about that part of it. I think the most important thing is helping us win and doing whatever I can do to do that.
What's the process between now and kickoff on Sunday to know if your calf is ready? Does it come down to a pregame evaluation, or is it?
Yeah. I think that's part of it. Maybe I think it's just a lot of treatment today. Obviously, we've been rolling all day today, meetings and everything else, and doing a lot of the red zone stuff and a lot of our hard work stuff today and everything else. So today was a big day mentally and everything else for everybody. We got a lot of stuff done today. We had a really good practice. I think the most important thing is just tons of treatment and getting ready to see what I can do each day and take it day by day.
Arthur talked after when you made your preseason debut, the playbook was limited because they just wanted to protect you because you were coming back from the calf injury. Would you, when it comes to decision to play, would the idea be it's got to be if the entire playbook is available to you, and not just something that we're trying to get you all essentially get down on the field?
Yeah, I think preseason games the playbook's always a little limited. I don't think you ever show everything you do. I don't know if you've ever been on a team where you show everything you do and all that. And I think I think the most important thing is we got a lot of great players. We got a lot of great things we do. We want to be out there. We want to be able to do everything that we can to put our do a great job and go win. And our focus is getting to this game and winning and doing what we can to do there. So I'm going to do everything I can to be ready.
Now that it's lingered for the season or post the season, is there frustration or regret that the conditioning test, the way that went down and you initially got hurt?
Listen, I think the game of football is I've been very fortunate over my whole career to not have many injuries. I think the most important thing, though, is just, it's unfortunate, but we respond, right? We got to react and respond, and, my head's up and ready to, do everything I can to be ready to go. And I think that's really my focus is. It's not on anything before or anything like that.
Is it right or left?
I'm not sure if I should say that.
Anything else?
With the additional evaluation that you had yesterday, did it reveal that the injury was more severe when you felt the tightness?
Say one more time.
When you had the additional evaluation yesterday, did it show the injury had increased in severity or just an aggravation of what was already previously?
Yeah, no, there was good news there. It wasn't something worse, extremely worse or anything like that. So that was good news. I got to be smart, and obviously, we trying to play 20 to 21 games, So I'm trying to play in all of them, obviously, and that's kind of my mentality and how we want to go about it.
Was there a moment in practice when you felt it going through team or anything yesterday when you realized that something felt kind of off?
Yeah, I just kind of, I know myself so well. It's my 13th year. It's just kind of like, okay, this feels a little different. That was the biggest thing.
word broke that Pat Fryermuth extension.
Yeah.
What's he mean to you guys? And
Man, we were just celebrating Pat upstairs. Sorry we had to make y'all wait a little bit. But, man, we're just so happy for Pat, man. He's worked his tail off. Just his composure, his leadership. I remember when I first got here, I mean, Pat and I and some of the other guys, Cam and Connor and a bunch of us, we went out to dinner, and Pat was just talking about leadership. And I was able to listen to him and just hear, even though he's such a young, talented player, he already he exudes this leadership about him and his confidence. It's really tremendous. And I'm excited for him, man. Anytime a guy, gets acknowledgement in terms of financially and his family and everything else for all the hard work he's done, that's always a huge thing. And just like anybody, obviously all of us here, it's just like, man, when you get that opportunity, it's a blessing and whatever we get to do in life. And he's worked so hard about it, man. He's passionate about the game of football. He's a great teammate, a great leader, a great friend. We just had a good dinner last night on the offense, and we were all, we kind of knew something good was going to happen, and so it was cool seeing him walk off the field. Pat always smiling, but just to see the big smile on his face was huge.
Russ,
Last one here. Last one.
I was going to say, do you expect him to bug you for the ball more now?
Say again?
Do you expect Pat to bug you for the ball more?
No, I just told him he's going to pay for dinner next time.
So when you saw Russ yesterday at practice go down, what were kind of your thoughts and feelings?
I didn't really know what happened, to be honest, at first. But yeah, we were just doing Indy, and he just said he felt some tightness. So yeah.
Justin, do you go in preparing like you're going to start?
I mean, yeah, I have the same process, every week, because I learned my rookie year how, fast things can change. I remember my third game, rookie season, Andy Dalton, he was just running out of bounds, and looked like a normal play, and he tweaked his knee, and then right then and there I was in. So, I always prepare like I'm a starter, and like I said before, you just never know what can happen. So.
The team reps that you got today and yesterday, were they the most that you've worked with the first team since the regular season practices have kind of kicked up?
Not really. I mean, of course, since he's out, or since he didn't, get reps, but, there were full periods where, me and him were splitting that stuff, and, I would go full racks with the ones and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, you can theoretically say that just because he wasn't, a participant today, but yeah.
How much does it help to have had the work that you got during training camp? I mean, obviously, a team doesn't want to scramble and replace quarterbacks weekend before the game one, but how much does it help you to have had that experience?
I mean, yeah, just, me talking to the guys in the huddle, me, getting reps with GP, Van, Calvin, Scotty, and those guys. I mean, but like I said before, the coach, they do a great job rotating. And you're pretty much going to get reps with, all the players on offense. So, like I said, we all feel very comfortable with each other, playing with each other. So,
Justin, does the game plan change?
No.
Does Art come to you and say, "Hey, what are you comfortable with?" I mean, do you guys?
Yeah,
have
but
those sort of
he
conversations?
does that every game. So, it's the same thing. The game plan's not going to change. It's going to stay the same. So, yeah.
What kind of, roller coaster has this been? You were the guy for a while in camp, and then obviously last week Mike comes to you and tells you guys he's going with Russ, and now these last couple of days you might be back in there in Atlanta. Just where's your mind at with all
I mean,
this?
yeah, you can't. That's the thing. You really can't ride the wave of emotions. You got to kind of, keep feelings out of it. And really, my job is to be the best player I can be for this team. So whether that's, starting, whether that's being the backup, I'm not, necessarily in my feelings or whatever the case may be. My job is to, be here for the team and do whatever I can to make us successful. So.
Does playing down in Atlanta still mean something to you? You've done it before, right, as a pro?
Yeah, I mean, I played Atlanta, the past 2 years, so comfortable with the, personnel they have over there on defense. Of course, they got a new coaching staff, so they're going to do things differently on defense this year. But, they added a couple of players on the defensive side of the ball. But, yeah, it's going to be cool going back home, especially first game of the season, playing back in my home state.
You mentioned not riding the wave of emotion. Have you always been like that? Is that something that's helped you throughout your career?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always kind of been, even killed. Even, some guys, came up to me here and was like, "You're just always so like mellow and chill." But I feel like I've always just been like that. I never try to get too high or never try to get too low. Just try to, stay humble and do my job. So. Yeah.
Were you like that even as a kid? I mean, did you throw like tantrums like a kid normally does, or just always kind of mellow?
I feel like I was kind of like shy as a kid. Never really talked. Didn't really like talking in public like that. Like I remember, high school recruitment. I was making this like little recruitment video, and I couldn't even say my name in my high school like in front of a camera. I was stuttering crazy. So yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been like an introvert kid, a shy kid, but of course, you know, all these cameras and of course me playing the quarterback position at, you know, some big schools and in the NFL has, you know, got me more used to talking in front of you guys a little bit more. So yeah.
Justin, how do you feel this offense fits your skill set?
I mean, I think it fits it well. Like I said, you know, multiple times, Arthur, he's been in multiple offenses. He's played with multiple, you know, different style quarterbacks that can run, quarterbacks that aren't so great with their legs. So, you know, it's more so the play calling and, you know, how he dials it up for us.
Were you surprised at all, or did you think in the back of your mind the Falcons might pursue you this offseason?
Did I think so?
Yeah. Did you think there was a chance?
I mean, it was pretty close. Shoot. I mean, I was still in the Bears when they signed Kirk, right? I don't even know.
Via trade at some point when you were
in Chicago?
Yeah.
I mean, nah. I mean, I didn't think Chicago was going to trade me in the middle of the season last year. So.
Oh, I meant this offseason though. Once everything was going.
But that's what I'm saying. I think Kirk was already with the Falcons before I even got traded.
Penix, but nobody really expected that either, I guess.
Yeah, but I think, you know, by the time Kirk had signed with them, you know, I was still with the Bears, so I wasn't really thinking that. So.
People were celebrating with Pat upstairs. Was that?
Yeah. It was awesome. Definitely celebrating, making some jokes with him about how he's paying for the next offensive dinner. But you know, glad he was able to work that out, and you know, excited, you know, to see him play Sunday. Get ready to go.
Justin, would it benefit you to know sooner rather than later for sure?
What's that?
Would it benefit you to know sooner rather than later for sure you're playing?
Would it benefit me?
Know tomorrow rather than
I mean, at the
Sunday?
end of the day, like I said before, my process, my preparedness is not changing whether I'm the backup or whether I'm playing in the game. So I prepare like I'm the starter because, like I said before, anything can happen. If Russ plays and he can get hurt first drive or not feel good first drive, and guess what? I'm in. So you always got to be ready, and that's just what comes with, you know, being a backup. So yeah.
What's the mindset right now, just going into week one? What have you learned about this team and all the practices, camp, preseason games that lead up to this?
Very excited. We've had a great camp. Feels like it's been forever, honestly. Not playing in preseason makes the camp feel even longer, and I'm just excited to get out there against another team and see everybody go to work.
TJ, what's
Thanks.
What's the difference in speed with this unit this year?
It's definitely noticeable. Just the amount of guys being able to fly in always in the backfield. I think P. Queen is a big addition to that. Some of the guys in the D-line interior have been playing really well too. I mean, Montravius Adams had a hell of a preseason. I think you guys saw that. And it's not like we really lost size with the speed, and that's always crucial. So I think we're going to be a very physical team, but also very quick sideline-to-sideline defense.
Not every defense is different. You've been on some really good defenses. How does this defense compare to previous units that you've been a part of?
It's way too early to tell right now. We're having a lot of fun. We have a good mix of young and old. It seems like every year, you know what I'm saying, we have young and old, but that's truly the case. We have a lot of guys that have come from other teams as well through free agency, so they've had a lot of good input for us, and they've also learned to steal away as well. So it's been a good meshing, and I'm just excited to see how we perform on Sunday.
What's the biggest challenge in playing a team that not only has a new coaching staff, but I mean, new quarterback? There's some skill guys that have been there before, but as a defensive guy, just how tough is that to get ready for?
Yeah, it's difficult. You have to kind of look a bunch of different places. You watch some of the coordinator where he was in LA a little bit. You watch some of Kirk in Minnesota a little bit. You have to watch some of last year for personnel things for offensive line because they didn't play in the preseason. So it's a little bit more of a trickier film study, just a lot more film than you normally would if you don't have games to go off of. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, but I feel like we've adapted really well to it.
How much do you anticipate what Kirk can do changing based on he's coming off that Achilles injury that can be significant, especially for a quarterback? Do you think his style's going to change, or it'll be also the first time he takes a live hit in a game?
We have to assume he's 100% back to normal. I'd rather start there and then go from there as opposed to the other way around.
TJ, have you changed your preparation this season as opposed to years past? As you get further in your career, have you tweaked anything?
It's continually evolving. Trying to make this career as long as I possibly can and stay healthy, but also perform at a high level. So it's always finding a balance. My strength coach, Brad Arnett, back home, has done a great job with working with me. And Herb came up with me and worked out a little bit. And it's just nice to be able to have other NFL guys in the building. TJ Edwards, and the guy I work out with, Muma in Cincinnati. Cincinnati I work out with, guys like that I at least can still gauge where I'm at with other NFL players. Where I'm not just in a dungeon working out by myself and don't have a gauge of where I'm at going into the season.
You haven't called Nick Mr. Herbert yet, have you?
Absolutely not. Never will. Not while I'm here.
Does he look like he's, Mike always talks about the second lap around the track being kind of important for guys. Have you seen a difference in his approach this season as opposed to being sort of the wide-eyed rookie? Or
He's stuck to my hip. I can't get away from him. Honestly, he's been a sponge to everything, and it's been so cool to see him continue to grow and ask the right questions, and he's not afraid to ask questions and then go out and try new moves and fail and get better. And him and Keanu, it's just such a young core that we have here, especially on the defensive front. Where guys, that second time around, you're able to truly use all your senses. You're able to hear out there. You're not just thinking, what do I have on this play? So those guys are going to continue to grow and get better as they progress.
TJ, at the Wisconsin kids, I mean, you, Nick, and Keanu, when you mentioned this, what is it? Is there something on the water in Wisconsin?
I don't know. I think it just has to do with development. Obviously, Nick will claim Hawaii, so that doesn't really count. But I think it's just development and trusting in the process and learning from the older guys. That and obviously it was a 3-4 defense, so it translates. So it's not like you're learning a whole new defense once you get here.
To what extent are you keeping an eye on your team's quarterback situation on Sunday?
I mean, if I keep an eye on it or not, it's still going to sort itself out, so it doesn't matter, really.
TJ, what have you learned about the quarterbacks over the time of camp and the offseason?
Our quarterbacks? I think they've both done a great job. I mean, they've gotten a ton of reps in game and out of game, just to be able to see them progress each and every week, see the offense continue to evolve. It's going to be a lot of fun watching Art calling plays on Sunday.